Before we start getting access to the fuel filter and that fuel hose, we have to remove this plastic piece and this, so it's out of the way. There's two clips on this one of either side. Gonna open it up and that drops out, and over here there are two little tabs to hold it together. There you go, it's out. And this piece we just lift it up. Okay, to remove this air intake, or I think it on the web they call it the bat wing, we just have to unclip this one on this other side, and it comes loose. Do the same thing on this side. And you can see it's loose. And over here there's a clamp that we have to loosen, and this hose, it's stuck to this underneath here, it's stuck like that, so we have to pull it that way out, and then we'll be able to just lift this out. So there's a cable here that we have to undo. Just have to pull out this gray tab, push it down, and we can unplug it. Similar to this side, but the gray tab is under here. Okay, that's out. I've loosened that clamp, and let's see if I can take it out. Next, we will have to remove this pipe. So there's a green gasket here, green silicone gasket, that I bought a new one because I'm guessing it's gonna break when I take this out. So there's one screw here. If I follow it down, there's one there, and then one right there, and another one somewhere around, it's kind of down there, that we have to loosen. So we have to loosen that so that this piece here, I think it's some kind of resonator. We have to loosen it so that this fall back a bit, so that this whole pipe can be pulled back. Okay, so I've got the screws undone. What you have to remember is the one down here versus the one down here. They're slightly different lengths, but just take note of which one came from where, so that you're not going to put in the wrong one. Before I take it out, there's a plastic clip here that's holding these radiator hose, so let's have to loosen that out. It's out, and now they should be fairly easy to come out. So that's come loose. Okay. All right. So here's the green silicone gasket, and there's a black one down here. Okay, so this is the hose that I'm replacing. I can see a leak here, and if I follow along, over here the pipe is starting to degrade. So since I'm replacing this tube, I might as well replace the fuel filter at the same time. So the fuel filter is held together by this clamp. So we just have to remove that clamp and take out the hose. This clip, you can actually reuse them. You just have to squeeze together, and there's a little hook right here. Just lift that hook upwards and that will just come out. Okay, so this is the filter. Let's see, it's a MANN WK820 1.4. So next I'm going to be removing this hose. So it's held together by these two screws, one here, they're E10. And it's just a matter of pulling it out. Oh, and loosening this one as well. This is also an E10. So here's the new fuel filter. When I lifted the old one out, this clamp fell somewhere. Now I've got to find it. So if you were doing this, just be really careful as you're lifting the old one out. I heard a clunk. Now I've got to find where that little hose clamp is. Okay, so I managed to find the hose clamp. It actually fell into that resonator. So this is comparing the new one with the old hose. I'm reusing the clamp on both sides. Fuel filter in, plug in the electric cable, secure the hose clamp, secure the fuel filter clamp, these two screws down here, and also this clamp. And I plugged in these fuel pressure sensor cable, and then I'm going to put in this tube. I put the silicone seal in there. So I just gotta push in, plug the resonator back in, and then the bat wing. So just comparing the old rubber gasket with the new. This is totally worn out. The ridges was totally gone. This is the new one. This one is totally lost its little notch here. Okay, so before I put this into the bat wing, so it's got to make sure there's actually a groove down there. So this has to sit totally inside that groove, apart from the notches matching all the holes around. So when installing the bat wing back, you have to make sure that this part, this little notch, lines up with this piece here. Okay, everything is back in place now. I just have to prime the filter now. Okay, so without putting my foot on the brake, I'm just going to push the start button. One time and two times.
Away. It was exciting to get to play the game, and you love that you were with different people.
I believe that should start priming the fuel filter. Thank you for watching.